I'm in a good mood, you guys. I just quit my day job so I could do more comedy, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. Thank you. Some of you sound worried. Some of you are like, I don't know if you should have done that. Do you have health insurance? Do you have any security? I'm worried for you. Yeah, I was working at a call center. Don't do that. Call centers suck. Do you guys work at a call center? Yeah. What do you guys call people about? Wow. Sounds like they love you at work. I don't call nobody. That was the white girl, by the way. Black girl was very articulate. I don't call nobody. Oh, that's great. Yeah, I hated working at the call center. Whenever I would get down on myself, though, I'd always look to my friend Jamie, who always had the best attitude. He's a gay dude, and I think that's part of why they call gay people gay. So gay also means happy. Yeah, and Jamie was the happiest person. I remember just saying anyone who's happy working minimum wage, but somehow Jamie was. Like, there were some days I didn't want to be there, I wanted to go home, and Jamie would walk right past me like, ooh, boo, I'm about to clock in, because I'll be working tonight. Work it! And I'm like, how is this your every day? Jamie would be like, oh, you could too, Stu. He's betting a leaf, it's not there. Jamie, there are no bangs. I miss Jamie. I miss him. Yeah, I never understood why he was working at the call center, because I've talked to a lot of people in customer service. None of them sound like my gay friend Jamie. Like, there's no one saying yes, queen, when they're trying to fix your cable. Do you know what I mean? No one on the phone's just like, yes, boo, we can fix it, sweetie. We can go work on your Comcast. No one's doing that on the phone. Like, Jamie's working somewhere else now, but I hope he's working somewhere where he would be helpful, like a suicide hotline. Hey, come on. I feel like Jamie would pick people's spirits up. He'd just be on the phone just like, ooh, boo, don't jump off that bridge, you got prospects, honey. You go back to work, bitch. Like, I have to go back to work, right? Can't upset Jamie. Jamie, by the way, is the only Asian dude I know who sounds like a black woman. The only one. Or that white girl. Ain't nobody gonna tell me who to call. Oh, that's too much fun. That was too much fun. I used to work at a comedy club as well. Not this one in Los Angeles. And the thing I never got or enjoyed about working at a comedy club was I went to college for 4 years, I got a degree, and then I went to LA to work at this club, and they told me all I could do was check IDs. And I'm like, that's not a great experience for anybody. You don't want me checking your ID, I don't want to check your ID. The only people I think like getting their IDs checked are people who just turned 21 and 37-year-old women. Yeah, because 37-year-old women are like, oh, he thinks I look young. And I'm like, no, just be nice. Come on in now. That was about for you. I can tell you who really doesn't like getting their IDs checked in my experience, middle-aged black dudes. Because middle-aged black dudes would come up to me and be like, dude, I get hassled everywhere else I go. Can this be the one place where I don't get bothered? I'm like, no, I'm sorry, my manager's a dick, and so am I. You gotta see that ID, sir. One guy got very frustrated with me. He was like, man, do you want to see my slave papers? And I'm like, whoa, do you have those? Can I see those? Just a bit of a history buff, really. I have all this free time now, and my buddy dragged me to his gym to try to get me to join his gym, and I don't like any gyms, they're all the same to me, because they always hook you up with this free trainer who's asking you about your fitness goals that you're supposed to have. I have no fitness goals, by the way. No. Yeah. So I have to lie to this person. I can be like, hey man, I want to bench 250, I want to run a 6-minute mile, but I don't care about any of that. Like, all I want to be able to do is, if I'm having sex with a woman, and I am on top of her, I just want to have the physical strength to be able to hold up my own body weight. That's it. That's all I want. What workout do I need to do to just hold up me? You know, without trembling, uncontrollably. That's so real. I can't tell you how real that is. Notice how it's mostly women laughing at this joke. Sounds like a lot of you been with that guy. And listen, I just want to apologize to any woman who's had to be with a guy with such forearm foundation. But that's a real thing for me. Because that position I'm in, not quite a push-up, not quite a plank. It's somewhere in between. Like, I need to figure out how to just strengthen this tendon, like right here. But I can't go to my friend or a trainer and be like, hey bro, do you have an elbow workout I can do? Trying to be a better lover. So what I did was I got a bike. The problem is, I live in Los Angeles, and riding a bike in LA is a goddamn death wish. Like, cars actively try to run you off the road if you're riding a bike in LA. And I can say that because when I'm in my car, I try to do the same thing. It's a great form of exercise, right? Like, I can get my legs real trim, I can get really muscular legs, and then above the waist remain a tub of shit. So, if you guys ever want to look like two different people on one person, cycling might be for you. I'm originally from the Bay Area, Northern California, and yeah, so a couple people know it's a place, that's good. I grew up in a duplex house for a while, and we lived on the top half. We had these neighbors who lived right below us. And the problem when you're a kid, you live in a duplex, can't be noisy, because you don't want to disturb your neighbors downstairs. So my brother and I, we got very creative with how we played with each other. Because we wanted to wrestle, like brothers do, we'd be different about it. So what we do is we turn our wrestling into this weird ballet. So we can be light on our feet, right? So it would start off as like WWE SmackDown, would turn immediately into Swan Lake. Like, I take my brother to choke slam him and just lay. Lift. And slam. Getting creative. Later we moved to a different house and we got a backyard and we got a trampoline. And trampolines are the best. Especially if you're a kid. Trampolines are like the opposite of a duplex. Because you can jump around as much as you want. And if there's people living below you, fuck them. They shouldn't be living below the trampoline. That's dangerous. I don't know if you guys are big into trampolines like I am, but I've noticed that parents try to protect their kids when they get a trampoline. And I totally get it. If you're a parent, you want to protect your kids. But if you really want to protect your kids, don't buy them a fucking trampoline. Trampolines are dangerous, that's why they're fun. So what parents do, you may have seen this, they put these netted cages around the edge of the trampoline so the kids won't fall off. Seems like a great idea. We just didn't have that when I was a little kid. So what my parents would do to keep my brother and me from falling off, they planted rose bushes around the entire perimeter of the trampoline. My mom didn't care at all. She was like, hey kids, don't flip. And it fell off. I go to see my family every once in a while up there. Every time I go out, my mom always wants to take the Christmas card photo. Doesn't really matter what time of year it is. She always wants to take this photo. And I never really want to, but whenever she brings it up and I say no, she always gives me this weird look like, this might be the last time I see you. I was like, what do you think I do? I do comedy in Southern California. It's very safe, I'm not in a gang, I'm fine. But I'll go home and I'll open the front door and she'll already be directing this whole photo shoot. So she'll be like, all right, so we're all gonna be wearing dark polos, wearing dark jeans. Stu, do you have dark jeans? Stu? Dark jeans? Okay, make sure you have dark jeans, and we're all gonna be barefoot, and we're all gonna be sitting outside on the back patio, you know, on the terrace? And then our bodies will be facing downstairs. But our faces will be looking up. At the future. And it's going to be a black and white photo, so it's going to be really sweet. You're going to hold the dog you're allergic to, by the way. I'll hold the dog. That's what parents do, right? They buy animals when their kids leave. That's what my parents did. My parents got a dog, they named the dog Fanny, which I think is rude. It's rude to name the dog Fanny. Because I don't think you should name a dog after what it wants to lick the most. Hi, this is my dog Balls. Have you met Balls? Yeah, you can pet him, go for it. I got to see, maybe I'll show you guys this. So whenever I go see my parents, my mom always tries to uncover something embarrassing from my past to try to like hold my dignity hostage. And this is the most recent thing she uncovered. This is something I did in 3rd grade, and this is called All About Me from A to Z. So this is something I did in 3rd grade, and each page is dedicated to a word that starts with a different letter of the alphabet. And I figured I'd just read through a couple of these, we'll have some fun and go on with the show. It's my choice to do the thing. He said, I'm so sorry. It's like, what do you... No one's making me do any of this. I picked this life. I could be in the House of Representatives right now. Alright. So I realized when I was reading this that my writing between the ages of 8 and now hasn't really changed. Let's get into it. Let's do this first one. This is A for American. And here's the picture, so you guys can see this is clearly done by an 8-year-old who had the skin tone of a Simpson. So, all right, so A for American. Tell what you like about being an American. What makes you proud of living in your country? And as an American, tell what freedoms you have. Now, reading this now, I'm kind of like, objection, Your Honor, leading the witness. Because America's alright, but in some ways we're just barely better than other places. Like we have Scientology here. How much better can we really be? Anyone here? I'm asking because I've talked about this at a show before, and one time after a show, a woman came up to me after the show and told me she was a Scientologist. And I'm like, holy shit, they're real. Like, I wanted to clutch my pearls, but I had no pearls to clutch. And she was like, I thought you were cute because you made that joke about Scientology. I was like, oh, that's so funny, because I thought you were cute until you told me you were a Scientologist, so... I guess we're both disappointed, huh? Okay, let's do another one. This is C for celebrity. We're not going to do B. C for celebrity. Who is your favorite famous celebrity? Tell why he or she is your favorite, and why you admire or aspire to be like this celebrity. And I said, my favorite famous celebrity is Will Smith. Yeah. I grew up in the 90s. He was a national treasure. He is my favorite because I like his show, Men in Black, and his rap songs. Rap, by the way, spelled with a W. So... I don't know what rap is.
Will Smith is a Scientologist.
Yeah, he is. And I hope I don't meet him. I wrote this when I was 8. You might like this though. Here's the picture of Will and me. Speed Will Smith, couple of bros hanging out. No big deal. Before I knew he was a Scientologist. Nothing really seems off about this picture, except for the fact that Will's pants color is the same color as his skin. Which either means I ran out of crayons, or Will's not wearing any pants right now. Will might just be Winnie the Poohing out on our plate. I'm going to show you guys one more. This is my favorite one. This is a cue for quality. If you could spend an entire day of quality time with any person in the world, who would you spend it with and why, and what would you do together? And I said I would spend it with Scottie Pippen. Sounds like most of you remember who Scottie Pippen was. But if you don't, in the 90s, Scottie Pippen was the #2 basketball player on the Chicago Bulls to Michael Jordan. Yeah. So even in my wildest dreams, I didn't pick Jordan. And if you guys remember, this is make-believe. I got fantasizing the whole way through. But apparently I still had to manage my expectations here. And you can kind of see I was managing my expectations in the drawing of this picture, because here's the picture of Scotty and me. Apparently I was looking for a strong black male influence in my life when I was 8 years old. Also, why am I as tall as Scottie Pippen in this picture? I'm also holding his hand like he's my dad and we're about to cross the street. But some of you guys can see, Scotty's number is 33, and if you remember, Jordan's was 23. But if you look at this first 3, it looks kind of like a 2. Yeah, which meant as I was drawing this picture, I'm like, who am I kidding? Jordan doesn't have time for me. Let's just make this a little bit more reasonable. So that's a little about me from A to Z, guys. So guys, this is a time capsule that's almost 20 years in the making, so you guys can laugh at me, and I appreciate that. I want you to know that if there's a kid in your life, son, daughter, niece, nephew, granddaughter, grandson, whose life you want to ruin by holding all their secrets in one place, I made blank versions of this. So if you want one, I'm selling them after the show. So. All right, I got to see my grandparents up in the Bay Area. My grandpa just turned 90 years old. 90 years old. Thank you. I'll tell him you would. Who? No, you're not going to remember. And to celebrate his 90th birthday, he took all of his guns away. Yeah, he took them all. Brother, Grandpa, you're 90. You have dementia. You forgot the results of the election. Maybe you shouldn't have a gun right now. But we kept him in the family, and we were trying to figure out who was going to take which of his guns, and it came to me, and I was like, I don't know if I want any of these guns. Like, I'm just not really a gun person. These hands, not really made for shooting guns. These hands are made for picking out sweaters. Dipping carrots into hummus. That's what these hands are meant for. But I feel like a bad guy, because everyone in my family is taking a few of these guns, and I feel like I'm going to be the one person in my family who doesn't have a memory of my grandpa when he passes. So I figured, all right, maybe it's time to man up. So recently I went to a gun range. Have you guys ever been to a gun range? Okay, this is Tucson, I figured as much. If you haven't been, it's very similar to going bowling, except for shooting at stuff. Everyone's got a lane, and you guys have all seen movies and people shoot guns. The bullet casing flies out. What I didn't know, the bullet casing is very hot. Very, very hot. Some of you are heavy. Okay. So I was in my lane, and the guy in the lane next to me was firing off rounds. Bullet casing flew out of his gun, and it hit my shirt, and it burnt through my shirt, and it burned my skin. It made a mark on my stomach. But when it hit me, I thought I had actually gotten shot. And I've never been shot before, so I don't really know how to react. Like, I clutch my stomach like in a Spanish soap opera, I'm just like, Maria. It's just not working. I just miss how simple it was to be a kid. It was so simple to be a kid. I miss when the biggest question you had to answer for as a kid was, what was your favorite animal? It's a huge question, right? You had the answers, they had to be good ones. Like, growing up, my favorite animal was the panda. Loved pandas growing up. But I learned really early that pandas were endangered and might go extinct. And I got really sad. But now that I'm older, fuck it. I don't need pandas anymore. Because even though pandas might be going away, pandas don't really do anything to help themselves. And I can't support that behavior, you know what I mean? Yeah. I give money sometimes to help pandas. But every time I give them money, I feel like I'm giving them a handout, or as they call them, Pandas. And I can't keep doing that time after time. I don't know, I love pandas, but as a species, they have a lot of problems. I know they're off, but they can eat just as easy to go back on. But you gotta think about it this way. They're great, but they do have a lot of problems. But as an American, I kind of get that. Like, that makes sense to me. Because this is a great country, but we have a lot of problems here too. That's why I think panda is the most American animal. Like, even though they're not from America, that almost makes them more American if they're not from America. But they're also black, white, and Asian. Like, how do you make that work? Like, that's a melting pot bear if I ever saw one. Like, if you told me they also spoke Spanish, like, bring them in. We're importing all these. These are American bears, and they can vote now. That's how important they are. Even though you guys, our nation's symbol is the bald eagle, I feel like our nation's spirit animal is the panda. Like, I feel like if America was an animal, it would be a panda. You know, because they're obese. Their colors are segregated. And all of their wealth is in China. Thank you guys so much.